departing at Keele Station.
Hey folks, it is Monday, December 16th, and I am here at Keele Station, and for this one, I'm going to head out to street level, and we're going to go for a walk down one of the most dangerous and deadly streets in the city of Toronto, and that is Parkside, at least as far as vehicle collisions goes. It's one of the most dangerous and deadly streets with nearly 1,500 collisions reported over the last 10 years or so. So let's leave the station and get on our way. That's unusually frequent service. It seemingly took forever to get from Eglinton down to Bloor thanks to the implemented slow zones. But once I was on line 2, things were moving pretty good. So this station sits just north of Keele and Bloor Street. This is Keele Street here, which heads north up through the Junction neighborhood. And it gets interrupted at some point to the north of here, but it resumes and continues on north for quite some time. Or quite some distance. And we might get some rain on this walk. It says in the forecast there might be rain around 4 p.m. That's a pretty nice day, all things considered, at about 7 degrees Celsius. And on the southwest corner of this intersection is High Park. But south of Bloor, Parkside Drive begins. You can see the street sign for Parkside Drive and the street sign for Keele. I've never done a video walking down Parkside before. And there's a somewhat infamous speed camera that we'll try to find on this one. Parkside runs for about 2 kilometers between Bloor and Lakeshore. And you've got High Park on the west side. You'll notice the speed limit is 40. It used to be 50, but the city has been implementing some measures to slow things down. 3 years ago, Arthur Coltoa, I probably said his name wrong, I'm trying to remember it, was speeding south down Parkside, going about 107 kilometers per hour as he approached an intersection. And according to the accident investigators, he sped up and went from 107 to about 124 kilometers per hour and rear-ended an elderly couple in a Toyota Matrix and ended up killing them. And that set off a chain reaction which resulted in a number of deaths, or a number of other injuries in addition to those 2 deaths. This was a 50 kilometer per hour zone at the time. And that speed camera the city installed is one of the most profitable in the city, and for good reason. Given the high rates of speed people tend to travel on this street. But it's been taken down twice in recent years, and it was just recently reinstalled last week for the 3rd time. But I think the numbers speak for themselves, with nearly 1,500 collisions over a period of 10 years. If anywhere warrants a speed camera, it's certainly this stretch. I think Gord Perks is the local city councillor for this area. And the City of Toronto has plans that they have approved to remove a lane of traffic in either direction and install a 2-way cycle track. I think that'll be on the west side. But the same day those plans were announced, the Ford government pushed through their legislation that'll give the province the ability to veto those plans. So our human colostomy bag of the Premier, Doug Ford, putting motorists ahead of the safety, well-being, and livability of people in the city. The city estimates that during peak hours in the morning, when this is the busiest, the average commute by car would only be increased by 1 or 2 minutes at the most. There's a pretty steep walk up to a lot of these homes. So I think there's an anticipated fight to go on between the city and the province, as the city wants to redesign the street. And the province will certainly want to veto that. But there's not much in the way of north-south cycling routes in this part of the city. So this would help connect things better. And it would provide a much-needed traffic calming measure to slow things down. think the actual number was 1,487 collisions reported over the past 10 years. And who knows how many unreported collisions. And there's been several deaths and serious injuries. And a huge amount of property damage, of course. So the city has reduced speed limits, implemented speed cameras, and proposed new infrastructure, including that bike lane or cycle track and enhanced sidewalks. But apparently around 21,000 vehicles use Parkside Drive every day. As it connects to the Gardner Expressway to the south of here, most of the city's congestion stems from roads that are connected to highways like the 427 and the 401, the DVP and the Gardner, which makes it all that more silly that the cities or the province is targeting bike lanes on Bloor, Yonge and University. This is Howard Park Drive. The College streetcar loop is just there if you've ever wondered where, or rather the Carlton streetcar loop, if you ever wondered where the Carlton streetcar came to an end. I don't believe there's a sidewalk on that side of the street though, so I'm stuck over here. There's the High Park Gardens Montessori School. There is a bike share rack right there at the entrance to the park. And you can see why residents of this area want to ensure this is a safe street. Normally pick streets when I do walks that have potential to be interesting from more of an urbanist perspective. Streets with a lot of life and character or interesting homes. Usually I avoid streets like this, but I wanted to do something a little different. Maybe I'll even make it all the way down to the lakeshore. There's some gorgeous old homes. Backing out must be a pain in the ass. And for those complaining about reducing the lanes of traffic, well, they remove street parking. That's not really an issue. On streets like this, street parking is actually the leading cause of added congestion. There's green pea parking machines. This is Jeffrey Street parking for rent, for sale, house, private. That house looks like it could use some TLC. Well, it looks like there's kind of a sidewalk over there. About half the width of what you might expect. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out with the city being pitted against the province. The province really has no business in municipal design decisions. And they've really been targeting Toronto. I made a whole video about that. Closed, no vehicle access to High Park every weekend. It ought to be like that every day. Just make an exception for those with a disability permit. As there is a road network through High Park. Torontonians are often allergic to signaling their turns and lane changes. It's a rather nice entrance to High Park. Let me check my maps here. I think that speed camera might be coming up here on the High Park side. Maybe we'll cross over and walk down that side. Just running the red light, and they can't even clear the intersection. Well, they barely did. This might be a dumb idea. I might run out of room to walk up ahead. I've done videos and live streams going through High Park before. Oh, it looks like there's a big playground just over there. And I think we're not too far from the High Park Zoo. Maximum 40 I said playground, but it's a building with a slide sticking out of the side. I don't know how well the camera picks it up. Slow down. Yeah, this is dumb. I should maybe cross back over to the other side when I get a chance. Looks like I'll have a chance to do that in a second. This is Algonquin. Residents frustrated after Parkside Drive speed camera cut down again. Camera was just reinstalled a day earlier. Pardon my French, but you have to be a colossal piece of shit of a human being to do something like that. It's so easy to defeat a speed camera. You know, just don't speed. There it is, reinstalled. And I read some incredibly toxic comments online from people supporting the person or people who have been cutting it down. And those comments said, "Not all heroes wear capes." Yes, let's endanger all the people in this neighborhood who actually live here, as well as other motorists, just so you can speed through with no consequences. I think automated enforcement is a better solution than just having police enforcing things. You obviously need a mix of both. But speed cameras hate this one simple trick. Slow the fuck down. And this is Spring Drive, so it was right here. Tragically, 3 years ago, I think in October, where that motorist killed an elderly couple. A lot of times the headlines and police reports are rather disingenuous. If you're negligent behind the wheel and someone dies, they didn't die in an accident, they were killed by the motorist. There's some flowers. I think set up Sunnyside Community Association. New tower proposed for St. Joe's. Sunnyside Traffic Issues Association organizing. As much as I sympathize with these residents, we're going to be getting their full NIMBY on over that one, I bet. wanted to go get a closer look at these flowers. Just casually running the red light. In loving memory of Valdemar and Fatima Avila. Yet Doug Ford wants there to be a lot more of this in the city. It's not just cyclists and pedestrians who pay the ultimate price for shitty design and ineffective policies. Speaking of shitty design, what am I walking on now? Is this a sidewalk? What is this? And we're about to head under the Queensway and a major rail corridor, as well as the Gardiner Expressway. There's a cycle path here that runs east-west. And leads into High Park. There's a staircase there if you want to head up to the Queensway. There's St. Joseph's Hospital, that's over Parkdale neighborhood. This isn't the kind of pedestrian crossing that gives you a lot of confidence. Sign says pedestrians wait for gap. It should say yield to pedestrians for motorists. I've got a chance to cross now safely. I'm going to do it. And it's around the corner, just so if you're crossing, how the hell are you supposed to see if there's a car racing this way? If you're standing over there, I think the crossing should be about where the camera's pointed at now. And motorists that way aren't going to have much of a visual on you either. Oh, let me know down in the comments if that strikes you as an incredibly poor design. Tell me they're not speeding. The limit here is 60. Well, that's just about it for Parkside Drive. There's just one thing to do now, and that's head all the way down to the lake next to Sunnyside Gus Ryder Pool. And we'll wrap things up as soon as the light changes. Which is hopefully any moment. go. This one is purely a pedestrian crossing. Let's see how long this takes. We press the button. Oh, that was quick. I couldn't even get my stopwatch app out in time. As Mr. Burns would say, excellent. Although he'd sound a bit more evil than I just did. Now that I've walked myself down here to the middle of nowhere, I think I'm gonna do a live stream and head back downtown. There's the Mimico skyline. Way back when there used to be an amusement park in this area. If you ever wondered where all the swans went in the winter, I guess it's technically not winter yet, but there's a number of them right here. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, which I don't update all that often, and there's a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. From the colder than it was when I started walking on this one, shores of Lake Ontario. Anywho, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink. Whoops.